Imagine you're walking through a jungle. A monkey swings across the trees. What's in its hand? A banana, right? Of course it is. Movies show it. Cartoons show it. Toy companies show it. Even emoji stickers show it. At this point, monkeys and bananas seem as inseparable as fish and water. But here's something that might completely ruin that image. Many wild monkeys have never seen a supermarket banana. Some have never seen a banana at all. And the banana you're imagining? It barely existed in nature. So why does the entire world believe monkeys are obsessed with bananas? And why are scientists, zoo experts, and primate researchers constantly correcting this idea? The answer turns out to be a strange story involving evolution, agriculture, advertising, Hollywood, and one of the most successful myths humans have ever created. Let's start with the obvious question. Do monkeys actually like bananas? Yes, absolutely. If you hand a monkey a ripe banana, there's a very good chance it'll eat it. It's sweet, soft, easy to chew, packed with calories. To a monkey, a ripe banana is basically fast food. But here's where most people get fooled. Liking something is not the same as being obsessed with it. I like pizza. That doesn't mean I eat pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The same is true for monkeys. Wild monkeys spend most of their lives searching for whatever food is available, and their menu is surprisingly huge. Depending on the species, monkeys eat fruits, leaves, flowers, seeds, nuts, tree sap, insects, bird eggs, and sometimes small animals. Some monkeys have even been observed actively hunting in coordinated groups, a behavior researchers only confirmed in the last few decades. That's a lot more variety than the stereotype suggests. In reality, bananas are just one item on a menu that can contain hundreds of foods. But here's the twist that almost nobody knows. The banana you're picturing isn't really a natural banana, at least not in the form we know today. For thousands of years, humans have been modifying bananas through selective breeding. Farmers repeatedly chose the sweetest fruits, the softest fruits, the fruits with the fewest seeds. Generation after generation, bananas changed, until eventually we ended up with the giant yellow fruit sitting in grocery stores today. The result is almost like comparing a wolf to a chihuahua. They're related, but they're clearly not the same thing. Wild bananas look very different. Many are smaller. Many contain large, hard seeds that take up most of the inside. Some have surprisingly little edible flesh. Cut one open and you might wonder if it's even a banana at all. In fact, the variety most of us buy today, called the Cavendish, didn't become the world's dominant banana until the 1950s. Before that, a different variety called the Gros Michel was the standard, bigger, creamier. Many people say it tasted better. It was almost entirely wiped out by a fungal disease. In just a few years, an entire banana industry collapsed. The banana you've eaten your entire life is essentially a replacement product, which means the classic image of ancient monkeys lounging around giant yellow bananas is completely backwards. Those bananas mostly exist because humans created them. Now things get even stranger. If bananas weren't a major part of monkey life, why does everybody think they were? Because humans accidentally built the stereotype. And once they built it, they couldn't stop repeating it. Think about it. If you're drawing a monkey in a cartoon, what food do you give it? A banana. Not because it's accurate, because it's recognizable. Bananas are bright yellow, easy to draw, easy to spot, and funny looking. A bunch of leaves doesn't make a memorable cartoon, a banana does. Over time, artists kept repeating the image. Then advertisers copied it, then toy makers copied it, then children's books copied it. Eventually, the connection became automatic. Monkey equals banana. Nobody stopped to ask whether it was actually true. And here's something worth noticing about how stereotypes work. They don't need to be completely false to survive. They just need to be simple, visual, and repeated often enough. The monkey-banana connection hit all three marks perfectly. Then zoos made the stereotype even stronger. For much of the 20th century, monkeys in many zoos were regularly fed bananas. The reason wasn't scientific, it was practical. Bananas were cheap, available year-round, easy to store, easy to serve, and monkeys usually loved them. Visitors constantly saw monkeys eating bananas. The stereotype became reality right in front of their eyes. But modern zoo nutritionists eventually noticed a problem. Today's cultivated bananas contain much more sugar than many fruits wild monkeys typically encounter. Some experts began comparing an all-banana diet to feeding children candy every day. Not poisonous, not immediately harmful, but not ideal either. There's a zoo in the UK, Paynton Zoo, that made headlines when it announced it was cutting bananas from its monkeys' diet almost entirely. Staff said the monkeys were getting too much sugar, gaining weight, and showing signs of dental problems. The story went viral, partly because it was so unexpected. The animal most associated with bananas shouldn't actually eat that many bananas. As a result, many modern zoos now offer far more varied diets. Ironically, some zoo monkeys eat fewer bananas today than their grandparents did. So why are bananas attractive at all? The answer goes back millions of years. Primates evolved in environments where calories weren't guaranteed. Finding a sweet fruit was valuable. Sweetness usually meant sugar. Sugar meant energy. And energy meant survival. The animals that paid attention to sweet foods often had an advantage. Humans inherited the same system. It's why ice cream is easier to crave than celery. Your brain is running ancient survival software. Monkey brains work in a similar way. When a ripe fruit appears, their instincts pay attention. A banana is essentially sending a giant biological message. Quick calories available here. Ignoring that signal wouldn't be very smart. But here's the thing about that ancient software. It was calibrated for wild foods, foods with far less sugar than what agriculture eventually produced. The modern banana is so much sweeter than anything that existed when that software was written. In a sense, we hacked the monkey's biology. We created a food so optimized that it overrides their natural preferences. And then we pointed at their excitement and said, see, monkeys love bananas. Hollywood helped lock the myth into place forever. Early filmmakers loved visual shortcuts. A pirate needed an eye patch, a cowboy needed a hat, and a monkey needed a banana. The audience instantly understood the character. Cartoons amplified the idea. A monkey with a banana became comedy gold. The image spread into posters, cereal boxes, toys, comics, magazines, and television. By the time most people encountered real information about monkeys, the stereotype had already won. And here's perhaps the funniest part. When scientists observe wild primates, many are far more interested in completely different foods. Some species actively seek figs. Others prioritize leaves. Others spend hours hunting insects. Some monkeys can devote huge amounts of time to foods that aren't sweet at all. Nature doesn't care about stereotypes. Nature cares about survival. There's even a species of monkey, the colobus, that eats almost exclusively leaves. Its entire digestive system evolved to break down plant cellulose, the same way a cow's does. Hand it a banana, and it might not know what to do with it. But nobody puts a colobus on a lunchbox. So are monkeys obsessed with bananas? Not really. Do they enjoy them? Absolutely. But that's a very different claim. The truth is that monkeys have incredibly complex diets shaped by millions of years of evolution. Bananas are simply one food among many. The real obsession belongs to humans. We redesigned bananas from the ground up. We fed them to zoo monkeys for convenience. We photographed monkeys holding them. We put them in cartoons, movies, advertisements, and toys. Then we repeated the image so many times that it became common knowledge. In other words, the monkey-banana stereotype wasn't created by monkeys. It was created by us, and that's worth sitting with for a second. Because this isn't just about monkeys. Think about how many other facts you carry around that were built the same way. A simple image, repeated often enough, until nobody questions it anymore. Ostriches don't bury their heads. Bats aren't blind. Goldfish don't have 3-second memories. And monkeys aren't obsessed with bananas. Subscribe if you want more. And if you already know someone who'd argue that monkeys definitely love bananas, send this to them. Let them find out for themselves.